Well, this is the Bonneville Salt Flats. Another very harsh environment. Nothing can grow here at all, as you can see. Because it's all salt. What can possibly grow in salt? Well, there's a few plants that can, but that's sort of beside the point. Nothing grows here, but there is some life in the salt itself. Bacteria that can live in the soil. Apologize if that's not very well focused, and yeah. There's not a whole lot to say about the environment here. I mean, there's bacteria that live in the soil, like I don't know anything about that, and there is nothing much else. Should make a video, dude. It's very scenic though.
How many trees does Utah have? Wait,
Like, what do you mean trees?
Does Utah have without a single tree on it?
Oh, probably a few in the right parts, like over that way. I guess that brings up another thing. One of the interesting things about here is this is the driest place in Utah, at least one point here, according to the Prism climate maps that I like so much. They are getting only about like 100 millimeters or like 4 inches of rain, which is extremely dry. And even like the southern and Colorado Plateau area of Utah doesn't get that little rain. Wow. Man, it is hard to not make this look washed out. Now, I guess also I could say these salt flats formed when Lake Bonneville started drying up at the end of the last glacial period, and Lake Bonneville is not a particularly salty lake, but it had no outlet to the sea, at least most of the time. So it did accumulate some salt into it, and when it dried up, it left behind a ton of salt and got increasingly salty, eventually creating this giant salt flat now. Great Salt Lake, which is not too far from here, is the sort of more liquid running into that, and that's quite salty, and if it were to dry up entirely, there'd probably be a big salt flat left over there as well. Anyways, though, it's a neat place, but not a lot to talk about biologically. Said bacteria in the soil, or salt, that very extreme halophilic organisms that can tolerate it, and out there it is quite dry, but there probably is some stuff that grows out there that's cool. I mean, there has to be some. Looking for the binoculars, it does not look like there are any particular trees on those mountains. So yeah, I guess I'll check out what that plant is over there. What do you know, it's Greasewood, or Sarcobatus vermiculatus. Member of its own family, Sarcobataceae, formerly part of Amaranthaceae though, and they are related, but turns out to not the same family at least. A very, very salt tolerant plant, but same time not halophilic enough or salt tolerant enough to grow actually in pure salt like these. Although there is a species of tree in Chile that apparently can grow in pure salt, a species of Prosopis, or mesquite, I guess. So that's pretty interesting, but this isn't Chile, this is just Utah. Alright, see ya.